Hey guys, it's Mr. Smiley here from Terps Win B1G. Haven't done a lot of instructionals lately, but I had the chance to do a couple of the same style attacks on Town Hall 11 ring bases with my Town Hall 10. So just wanted to kind of give a little bit of the details of what I'm looking for when I do one of these attacks. And this attack has become one of our staples of the clan. Even in high level wars like the CWL, you'll still see, one or two of the Town Hall 11s have ring bases. Whether this continues after the break and people are starting to get used to the more air-friendly update, we'll see. I doubt if we'll see very many high-level bases with all the expos down like this. Ring bases like this are particularly easy for 11 versus 11 Laloon 3 stars, so you're probably going to see fewer of them going forward. But you're still going to see a lot of them as trophy bases. So one thing I want to point out is, look, it's a Town Hall 11. You have the Eagle. The Eagle is a big threat. But since this is a 10 versus 11 2-star attempt, really what you need to focus on is just this Town Hall and then making sure that you get enough percentage to get that second star. So here on this attack, I start out with the Queen charge over here. And this attack is actually a lot more forgiving than you'd expect. You can have the queen die in the first third of the attack and still have it be a pretty successful attack. So the clan castle is another thing. The clan castle and the queen are other kind of strategic objectives that you want to pay attention to. The queen, again, like the eagle, this is a 2-star attempt. You don't need to pay attention to them. If you can create the funnel here and get to the town hall without engaging the archer queen, go ahead and do that. The clan castle, I knew that I could not. The clan castle is going to eventually come out, even if I start way over here. So I want to make sure that I get the clan castle on my own terms. So I dropped a barb up here. I knew that there was a golem and a loon in there, and that the one barb would be enough. I carried a couple. My plan originally, I was hoping for the queen to walk this way, but on ring bases you never really know. So if my queen walks up this way, my plan is to just have the king and his crew go through the same hole and go down this way. If the queen had started walking down this way, again, I could have just had the king come up this way, or I could have also had the king and his crew, since I'm carrying extra wall breakers, kind of come up. Well, it's not cooperating. Come up this way, and and just kind of join the queen. Have the healers switch over to the bowler crew, and then as I send my Valk up the middle, they may have to clear a little bit of the trash in here since I've kind of created a landing strip here. But they'll still get to the core pretty quickly, and maybe the healers will go over there. That didn't actually, I didn't need to do that. I could send them in the same hole here. I just want to mention that, though, that there are various points in this attack where things can go badly, and you can still have a pretty successful attack. So let's go ahead and let's watch this attack. And this is based on Clash with Ash had a similar video with a similar comp, but only 8 Valkyrie, and in friendly challenges and maybe a couple of farm war attacks, we found that the 8 Valkyrie a lot of times is not enough. You get to the town hall and you get half of the town hall, and then you just don't have enough to finish it off. So the 12 Valkyrie is a lot better there. Here you can see I have a succession of wall breaker fails, but I do poison the golem and the loon, and then I drop a whistle there to help with the golem kill. A little bit late on that. Another thing that the 12 Valkyrie allow you is that you have a couple Valkyrie to kind of play with in case you need to send some test Valkyrie to make sure that you have that funnel to the core correctly. Also, if you need to drop 2 or 3 just to help the king's crew along, that gives you some options there. So here we go with the king. I accidentally dropped, you want to drop the P.E.K.K.A. first, or pretty close to the first after giant maybe. There you can see the P.E.K.K.A. coming out at the end. Not that big of a deal. You're carrying 4 rages. At least 2 of the rages are for the queen. 1 you absolutely must keep for the core. for the Valkyrie. Otherwise, you're taking a huge risk that the Valkyrie won't get in. There you can see I sent a couple test Valkyrie, and I could see the red target indicator indicate that it's going to go right into that first Inferno. So that's when you go ahead and send the entire pack in there, and they just kind of decimate that, and then they'll jump back out, they'll get the Tesla and pick up some more percentage. But always send, one Valkyrie, wait a second, make sure that you see that red target indicator light up before you send the entire pack. Because if you miss the funnel by one building and you send one or two Valkyrie, then those Valkyrie should take out that defense and complete the funnel. But let's just pause here, and you can see the funnel that I'm creating on these. That's ultimately the goal, is for you to clear out half of the base. Here, I've already sent everything to the core, but you can see, here roughly is the funnel. You need to make sure that there's no defense on this side up here, on this side down here, so that your Valkyrie will run to the closest defensive building, which is right here. So there you can see they're just kind of, the Queen still walking around, picking up a couple percent. It's not going to be very common that your Queen survives this, and she doesn't have to, especially as you'll see the second attack. As you're going in towards the single Infernos or even multi-Infernos, they can be pretty dangerous for the Queen. But again, let's go ahead. This is a super common base. It looks like a bullseye. I've seen this so many times in the last 2 weeks that you're almost certain to have found this in a couple wars. So basically, again, what you're trying to do is you're trying to clear out half of this base. You need to take out around here, around here. I mean, technically it doesn't need to be half, as long as this Inferno right here is closer to where you're going to drop your Valks than any other building. But, that's going to be pretty much close to the case. So here again, you're going to drop the Queen charge. Here it's thin enough that you don't, like with the other one, that you don't need to go a couple rows deep. Your Queen is able to take out all of this. Here on this side, I noticed that I had a fair amount of room that a baby dragon could do some work before they were taken down by this or by the Expo. Let's just go ahead and watch the attack. I like the earthquake on the core. Again, a lot of attacks you get to the core, and you don't have quite enough to get the town hall, and that earthquake will just help soften the core a little bit. Also, I do like 4 healers with this. You may run into some bombs, but the 14 spaces lets you carry more, giants, or for the lure here, or a couple more bowlers that you can take. And frankly, your Queen is going to be under rage most of the time that she's taking damage here. So you can see I knew that there were some Valk and a baby dragon, so I was a little bit nervous here. I dropped the poison nicely, popped the ability, and then I probably did not need that rage right there. That was a little bit of panic, but I'm taking damage from two max expos and an archer tower, so it probably was not that bad of an idea. But what that did was, that means that I don't have a rage for my kill crew, and you need to save that last rage for the Valkyrie. Even if you think that 8 Valkyrie can take out 2 Inferno and a Town Hall, especially when they've been earthquaked, just you need to have that rage for the core. The last rage and the jump are always for the Valkyrie. But there you can identify where that jump can cross 2 of the walls. There you can see that single is going to start melting a hero, and my Queen's dead. As soon as the single locks on, it's like a tractor beam. But there you can see I sent a test Valk. There are some Tesla in there. Again, that's it's great that I have that rage in there, because if I hadn't been sure about what was in the core, it could have surprised me. And if I had only had kind of 6 Valkyrie left standing by the time they got in there, maybe those Teslas would have been enough. But as it is, they rip out the core, and I have a single minion there who I think is going to pick up a percent before impending doom from a couple different sources. So that's my go-to Town Hall 10 versus Town Hall 11 ring strategy. It's not going to work on every base. Some bases, maybe dragons will work better, or surgical baby dragons. But again, as air becomes stronger and stronger, you're going to see fewer bases with all of their expos set on ground for a dragon attack. If you get a single inferno like this base, that is going to melt that dragon or baby dragon that would normally snipe the town hall at the end of the attack. And just kind of dragon attacks on ring bases. I like the surgical baby dragon, but big dragons sometimes will just kind of funnel around the town hall, and you don't have the luxury of keeping a 20 troop space dragon until the end. So anyway, play around with it. Let me know if you tweak it and you find something that works better, or just feel free to leave comments in the under the video. Until next time, let's go Terps.